Like that? I think you said. Say something. No. Okay. That's good. I don't like it, but okay, right there. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's great to see everybody. You can see the rabbi is away. She is in Israel with the rabbis, all the rabbis, not all, but many. Who are celebrating Shabbat. They've already celebrated because it's 10 hours ahead in Israel. But we wish her a good Shabbos and also having a little time to see some relatives. So I have this person, my husband Joel, is here to help lead tonight, and I'm and I'm very, very appreciative of him, and it's always fun. We have so much happening tonight. There are so many simchas, but the first is for candle lighting. We'd like to invite Mazriel and Madeline Pimentel-Diaz to come up for the candle lighting. We'll also be celebrating Maddie's conversion later in the service. And we'll ask you to read, before you do that, on page 3. There you go, one of those two.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have loved the light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher shanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We continue to celebrate Shabbat with Mayafe Hayom, how beautiful this Shabbat on page 10. Join with us. yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. We continue with Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride on pages 20 and 21. We'll do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 to this rather modern melody. Join with us. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemot tiferet v'liti la 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 la, Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha, Ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nisucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavati, la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Toreri, toreri, Kiva ore, komi ori, 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 shir daveri, Kevod Adonai alayis, la la la, Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Zoi v'shalom ateret vala, Gam v'simcha u'v'tzola, V'chemonei am segula, V'oi chala, V'oi chala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Penei penei Shabbat nekabela. I was wondering if I was echoing. You have to mute on the there. Yes. You have to mute. Please take a moment and say good Shabbos to each other, people you haven't seen or you don't know, and then we'll return. Test, test, test. All right. As soon as my husband comes back up, Joel, as soon as my husband comes back up, we're going to continue our service. There'll be more time for talking after, And we're going to continue with Baruch Hu on page 28, our formal call to worship. And I'll ask you to rise as you're able to as we join together, page 28. It's okay. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. We continue on page 39 in the middle. I'm sorry, not 39, my fault. We continue on page 30 in the middle.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe,
Who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Everlasting God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. On the next page. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofenu Ukumenu nasiya b'chukecha V'nizmach v'divrei Torata U'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orech yameinu v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavata al tasir mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad 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 Baruch Shekevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with Shema and her blessings with V'ahavta on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'hisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hoseiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. On page 39 in the middle, we continue responsively.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, let us have the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילו נושא פלא, נורא תהילו נושא פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. ונאמר כי אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We continue with Hashkivenu, this prayer asking for a shelter of peace to be placed over us on page 43. Page 43. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Oshmor Tzeiteinu Ovoenu L'Chaim Oshalom Me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al hamo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. The Shamru is on page 44. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat l'dorotam berit olam. Beni oven bnei Yisrael oti leolam. Beni oven bnei Yisrael oti leolam. V'shamru bnei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם. We continue with Tefillah on page 46. Page 46, we prepare on page 46 and following. Please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia gidelatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, O matir asurim, O mekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha baal givurot, O midom elach, melech memit, O mechaye, O matzmiach Yeshua, Deneman ata leachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh, v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We invite you to continue tefillah silently, individually, through page 63, after which you may be seated. on page 62 at the bottom of the page. Ose shalom mimroma, oyase shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ose shalom mimroma, oyase shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. We pause here for a Mishaberach prayer, a prayer that asks for a complete recovery of body, of mind, of spirit. And we'll go around the room. You can find the prayer on page 253, page 253, as we take the names of those that we're thinking of.
I pray that Israel makes that there isn't another intifada in Israel.
Thank you.
Richard and Roxanne Watkins, Jerry Monica Samoas, Charles Watkins, and
Diane Flakestein, Wayne and Robin Katz, and Jody
I had one. Chaya Mayim Bat Shmuel Verubi. For all these names, for those who are struggling in the cold and in the snows, we offer this prayer. Yisheberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, And I'll ask you to turn back to page 138 as we pause here for our moments of gratitude. And they have always been so great on Friday nights. I'm always looking forward to hearing what people are experiencing in their lives and in this week or this month. And if you have something, raise a hand, and I will bring this around. Just a little hot. Oh, hang on. One sec. Oh, yeah. I'm going to give you that. There you go. There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. I'm just feeling, can you hear me?
Just a little louder.
Feeling grateful because I potentially have a job offer that has really great medical benefits for my incoming family.
Great. Mazel tov. There you go.
I just wanted to express some gratitude for the wonderful oneg this evening.
Good oneg this evening.
Want to also express some gratitude for our teaching staff and volunteers here at TBE, including our new team members. We've got a power pack here, and I cannot wait to work with our team.
Have anything? Okay. Maz is just grateful.
I'm pretty grateful for this community, which keeps my spirits up. And I'm especially grateful to John, who's trying to work on a plumbing problem we now have.
John is the man around the house.
Luckily for me, I don't have to start it tomorrow because we are going to Wintergrass Music Festival in person. Thank goodness we're back semi-post-COVID in person for that.
Wonderful.
Terrific.
Anybody over here? Go, Stacy.
Lots of things I'm grateful for, but the ones I'm going to name right now are cat sitting for a very appreciative kitten. Very appreciative, soaks up all the attention when I come over. And his sister is actually letting me approach so that she'll sniff my fingers, which is very good for her. And then I'm appreciative of my clients who have sought the help that they need this week and are able to access the services they need, inpatient or outpatient.
Thank you. I feel like Monty Hall, for those of you who know who that is.
We just had a great 8 days with our granddaughter Brianna from Israel and her partner, which also brought in my daughter and her family and close friends and cousins, and it was kind of a zoo at the cabin, including a dog. But it was a wonderful time to be together. We don't get to see each other much. It was awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please.
I'd like to express gratitude to my husband, who might be online, I'm not sure, for putting up with me this week, moving about 25 plants into my new office. I might have overdone it, but it's really beautiful in there right now, and it was a ton of work and a lot of mess, and he was very patient.
A lot of love, yes.
And
yes.
I have a lot of things that I'm thankful for, but first thing I'm most thankful for is that my mom signed me up for the summer to go to Israel for 2 months. And also, I'm thankful because I got accepted to the championship for golf and all the kids competing in the United States. Wow. And then I don't know, I have a lot of things.
Those are good, those are good.
And then also, since I'm going to Sunday school this week, I'm happy for that.
Welcome to Sunday school. Did you want to share something?
about Girl Scout cookies?
About STEM?
Oh, no, she hasn't gotten any.
Oh, you haven't gotten any yet. Okay, so we're waiting.
She has to do her application.
Okay, okay. So all of these things, besides, did you have one?
I do.
Okay, please.
I'm grateful that a side effect of my low sodium diet, which I've had to be on for a few weeks now, is that I'm able to tuck my shirt in for the first time in 4 years.
Siman tov, mazel tov. Okay. All right. So we have another celebration. Maddie, if you want to come up. Let's see. Yeah, you do. So we're going to use this mic too, I think, to start. Okay. So we celebrate with Maddie and with Mazriel and with our entire community as we welcome Maddie into Judaism as a converting to Judaism. I got to work with her how many years ago? It was during COVID, yes? But she went to the mikvah recently on the 16th, I think, with the rabbi, and there were 2 other rabbis who witnessed going to the mikvah, and so we welcome her into our community as a Jew with these words. From the book of Ruth, Ruth the Moabite, we hear of her joining Naomi and the Jewish people. Vatomer Ruth, al tifki vi le'ozvech, lashuv me'acharayich, ki El asher telchi elech uva asher talini alin. And Ruth said, do not urge me to leave you, to turn away from joining you, for wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. I vow before God that nothing but death could part me from you. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you can respond, I do or I will.
Okay.
Do you choose to enter the eternal covenant between God and the people Israel and to become a Jew of your own free will?
I do.
Do you commit yourself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge?
I do.
She should, because she's our interim director of education. Do you promise to establish a Jewish home, to participate actively in the life of the synagogue and of the Jewish community?
I do.
Besides that, she's co-chair of Sisterhood. Do you commit to building a meaningful relationship with the state of Israel and its people?
I do.
Do you accept Judaism to the exclusion of all other religious faiths and practices?
I do.
Do you pledge your loyalty to Judaism and to the Jewish people under all circumstances?
I do.
And so, Maddie Pimentel-Diaz, that will always be your English name. But from today on, you've also chosen your own Hebrew name, Lila. And so if you could share maybe just a little bit of where that name came from.
Okay. So in thinking of a name that would accurately describe who I am, and not necessarily dark heart, but as you know, Lila is night. And having been a soldier in the Army for about 22 years, I can't tell you how many nights I've spent in the field, in the middle of nowhere, freezing, burning, everything in between. And I had a lot of the most peaceful moments in my life, serenity, when I was in the field, in the dark, in the middle of the night, with no one else there, because I could hear everything and nothing. I was able to have my weak moments. If I had to cry, or if I had to yell, or if I was just needing something, I could do it in the dark and no one judged me. And I owned that. And I thought, the night is special to me because it's part of who I am. Every day I could work to the bone, and at the end of that day, I'm not promised a night, but every night that I get one is cherished. And so no matter how things get, how dark they might get, how rough they might get, how hard your heart may feel, broken, neglected, at the end of the day, you will get that night, and it'll give you that opportunity to reset. So I take the night with me everywhere. So if you're having a rough time and things are dark for you, I'm there with you. So don't forget.
Beautiful, thank you. So Laila Bat Avraham V'Sarah, come up this way. I'll ask you to rise as we open the Ark and take out a Torah. Here's this one. There you go. And I'm going to put that in your hands. Got it, good. Okay. As I place this Torah in your arms, take it to your heart as we now recite the Shema, the words on the lips of the Jews until the final moments of life. It is the affirmation that has sustained the Jewish people since our beginning. And we can do this together. Here we go.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Sing with us.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vayed.
Nice, David. What's it? Wait, we're not done yet. Please be seated. Okay, come with me back over here. Mazel tov on this day in your community. Look out at your community, all of them, as I bless you with these words in the ancient words of the high priests, the Yivarechecha, the threefold benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'ychoneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha Shalom. Shalom. May God bestow favor upon you, and may you always be given peace. Amen. Amen. And we sing together. Simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov. Yelanu, 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 Olecho Yisrael. Yelanu, yelanu, Olecho Yisrael. Yelanu, yelanu, Olecho Yisrael. Yelanu, yelanu, Olecho Yisrael. Mazel tov. I don't think I've ever danced and sung that before. Wow, and with a mask on, okay. Mazel tov, mazel tov. And I'm going to have a little drink of water before my. Thank you. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yikhu li truma me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikachu et trumati. Teruma opens with a call for the Israelites to bring to God what the standard English translation calls gifts. The Eternal spoke to Moses, saying, "Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart is so moved." After enumerating the precious metals, stones, and materials that would constitute such gifts, we learn the purpose. Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betochem, and let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them. What appears straightforward in this English translation of the first two verses, based on the New Jewish Publication Society translation, is less clear when one tries to ferret out the conceptual meaning of the text directly from the biblical words. To get more of a sense of the nuances of the original text, we turn to literary scholar Robert Alter, who attempts to capture the unique artistic and linguistic style of the Bible in English that communicates this linguistic challenge of interpreting ancient texts. Alter translates the Torah portion's opening verses as, "And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the Israelites that they take me a donation from every man. As his heart may urge you shall take my donation, and they shall make me a tabernacle that I may abide in their midst. Using Alter's English rendering, we can get more into figuring out the meaning and implications. While from the onset, you may be wondering about the idea of a gift giving or donating to God, the Torah uses the verb lakachat, which means to take instead of to give or to bring the gifts to God. So this is what I think cries out for interpretation. Why does the Torah talk about taking a donation when the intention is clearly to give or to bring donations to God? Rav Avraham ibn Ezra from Spain in the 1st century CE explains that take and give is a drilled down summary of what must be done in order to give something. To give something away, we have to first take it from ourselves. In other words, true elevated gift giving is about taking from ourselves, the act of giving something up and creating an elevated offering for someone else. And we must do this from our hearts, not out of an expectation of receiving anything back from it, like accolades or lauding ourselves over others or special treatment. We might also ask about the word being translated as donation, gift, truma in Hebrew, which Alter tells is derived from the verb larom, meaning an elevated offering. It's one of the offerings in sacrifices. The rabbinic midrash on Exodus, known as Shmot Rabbah, spiritually expands on the elevated nature of this gift. Noticing that throughout the Torah, Moses is described as going up to commune with God, the midrash suggests that through elevated gift giving to build the sanctuary, all of the Israelites are able, as it were, to ascend toward the divine. So what are the gifts you will take? Perhaps taking time and making your presence known regularly at the temple? Perhaps taking away a fear of meeting new people and joining in our monthly dialoguing events to get to know the breadth and depth of our community? Whatever you take, remember that each elevated gift is brought to create a holy place for God and for us. Shabbat Shalom. Now it gives me great pleasure for announcements to call Bonnie Becker and to share some of the, oh my goodness, many things going on at the temple these days.
Shabbat Shalom, friends. It's lovely to see you all. Mazel tov to my sister Maddie. I feel like you've been a part of this community. You've given so much to this community already that this is the beginning of a continuation of something so beautiful. My name is Bonnie Becker, here on behalf of the board. As usual, feel free to forget my name and ask my name again if you give me some grace if I ask your name again. And as usual, I will refer you to the back of your document here for a lot of the goings-on. As Cantor mentioned, is it me or does it feel like we're just like on fire these days? There's so much happening. So make sure that you're keeping up either here or checking your email for the Shabbat Shalom. If you're not getting the Shabbat Shalom, please either let the office know. I believe there's a sign-up sheet near the door. If you're not getting it, check your spam. For some folks, it does go to spam. And we also have the bulletin. Those are all different ways that we try and get the word out to you about what's going on. So I will not be reading this document for you because you have it right in front of you. But I will point out a couple of things that are coming up. I think the big event coming this weekend is tomorrow night is the Sondheim concert, which is very exciting. So hope to see many of you there. And then Purim is almost here. So we've got March 5th and March 6th. March 5th is Sunday, and that's when we're going to have the Purim Carnival that we always have. And we are in need of some adult volunteers to help us run some of those games. It's usually quite a fun time. So if you are able to help volunteer, please contact Miss Maddie, who you have all gotten to know this evening. And then we're going to have the Purim Spiel with the kids. I believe both of my children will be in it. Highly recommend that you come in costume and just make it part of the fun. And then we have what's often called the adult Purim Spiel, which is the next night on March 6th, which is the Hairspray Purim Spiel, although older children such as mine usually end up going, and it is also quite a blast. And if it's Purim and it's Sisterhood, somebody from Sisterhood, of course it is Purim boxes. So March 3rd, 5th, and 6th, if you come Friday night or Sunday or Monday, you can pick up your amazing boxes. A bunch of folks are here who are part of the committee that have been putting those together, which my huge gratitude to you all the time about that. Speaking of gratitude, thank you to Cantor, Joel, and Debbie for a lovely service so far. Sean, who is doing double duty this evening for security and greeting. We have Sarah, who's doing tech. Maddie and Maze, who hosted such a lovely oneg, and I believe Emery and Olivia helped set up. And so thank you so much for that. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. Did you help with cleanup? Thank you, Stacy, for helping with cleanup. And Shabbat Shalom. Yes, Joyce. Howard. Okay. Did that word get across? If you could head over to Joyce. After the service. After the service, Joyce? After the service. You got it. All right.
Great.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Bonnie. We're going to move towards the conclusion of our service, beginning on page 282 with Elenu. Page 282, I'll ask you to please rise as the ark is opened.
Not to say unhinged.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gedula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. The Mortis Kaddish can be found on page 294, page 294. And we pause to see if there are names of those who are observing a Shiva or Shloshim on this Shabbat. Thank you. We're also thinking in our community of Joshua Levy, whose funeral was this past Sunday, a longtime member, also thinking of Louise and the family on this Shabbat. In the period of Shloshim, we're thinking of Carol Schoen, great aunt of Rabbi Karen Gorbin, and Susan Ingerham, mother-in-law of Jacob Elstein and grandmother of Sarah Elstein. To their names, we also add those who are observing a yard site on the Shabbat. And we remember in our community, Barry Abrams, Ray Lyon Auslander, Abe Berkowitz, Harold Binder, Selma Branham, Solomon Buchbinder, Maxine Carlisle, Alvin Cohn, Betty Doctor, Jack Eigen, Cantor Leah Elstein, Abraham Farber, Stuart Farber, Sally Foyer, Irving Hankin, Sylvia Hopkins, Ruby Kahn, Morris Chlorfine, Robert Cruz, Seymour Levine, Max Sheldon Mann, Wilhelm Friedrich Mayer, Robert Mermelstein, Lev Naiman, Gertrude Reisberg, Eileen Bell Robinson, Mardell Rome, Bernard Rose, Isidore Simon, Frederick Singer, Betty Victor, Irving Walker, Lillian Wick. As a community, we rise for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, be'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela minko birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'miran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah mishamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. We say zichronam livracha, may their names and all that they created on this earth be for a blessing. And we say, Amen. Please be seated. So again, thank you to everyone for helping with the service, and thank you all for creating such beautiful prayer to God this evening. We are going to conclude with Holy Place. I hope you got this when you came in. If not, share. But this is by Debbie Friedman, and this is based on the idea of the Trumah, of these gifts that we bring to create a holy place. And so we join together. These are the gifts that we bring, that we may build a holy place. This is the Spirit that we bring, that we may build a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of God will dwell within. These are the colors of our dreams we bring to make a holy place. This is the weaving of our lives we bring to make a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of love will dwell within. These are the prayers that we bring, that we may make a holy place. These are the visions that we seek, that we may build this holy place. Let our promise forever be strong. Let our souls rise together in song, that the Spirit of God and the Spirit of love, Shekhinah, will dwell within. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with Kiddush and Motzi on page 5 and then page 302. Page 5 and then 302. Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lemase bereshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kirvanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshcha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat l'chaim. Join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Everybody.
Please help yourself to some challah as we head out and wish each other good Shabbos. Shabbat shalom.
I'll hold on.